probably later on you can practice in the park, okay? Away from the cars, but it's a wide area for you to change the place so that you can have
1, 2, 3. And don't you stop the music, get into it, won't you dance with me? Find a place and lose it, you can do it, won't you dance?
Hello guys! Welcome back to our channel. This is Jocelyn P. Mangibin, a board-certified behavior analyst and an international behavior analyst. You might find me to have different energies on this channel, okay? It's because I really want to be as natural as I can be. I don't want to be more formal or more stiff, and I want just to convey the practical side of applied behavior analysis. And by the way, if you're new to this channel, it's about applied behavior analysis. It is a natural science in which we manipulate the environment so that we can see what are the variables that directly affect your child's behavior. And we are also using our analysis using the data that we took from the observations that we did so that we can see what are the functional relations between the environment and the behavior itself. And also, we're using those data so that we can see what are the deficits of the child and what are the strengths of the child, what are the skills that the child can perform. So the main purpose of this channel is to convey the most practical way on how to handle your kids using the applied behavior analysis techniques. And of course, sometimes I really need to insert my family trips or some of the interesting items or interesting things that I can see on my daily lives, on my daily activities, because it is my joy actually to share with you the real world of Jocelyn P. Mangibin, and I hope you don't mind about it. Now our discussion for today. What would you do if your child is running away from you without being instructed to do so, or just quickly eloping? Okay, so those are the things also that parents should be aware of and parents should be careful on handling. Guys, remember, on the previous videos that I made, there's one video that talks about the functions of the behavior. Now, the eloping or running away from you is a behavior. So we need to know what is the function that is maintaining that behavior. So here are some techniques that we can use on how to handle this kind of behavior, okay? Two things that I want you to remember. Number one, you should really know the function of that behavior. And number two, there's what we call a practice of walking with adult. So if the function of the behavior is your child wants something, that's why he runs, okay? When he saw something, he runs and then he took that item, all right? He got the access of that item. So all you have to do is be very vigilant, okay? Be very careful. Before he gets that item, before he runs away from you, prompt him to request, okay? I want, and then the item or the name of the item, okay? So if ever you feel that your child, you can see some of the precursors, right? You can see that you can feel your child is moving away from you. Then tap your child and then prompt your child to say the name of the item. And then that's the time, okay, that's nice saying the name of the item, or that's nice saying ball, let's go get the ball. All right, so in that point, you are reinforcing the requesting and not the running away from you. Now, you might ask me, Miss Jocelyn, what should I do if my child already ran away from me, is really quick to run away from me, and he took the item? Well, actually, you should have the control, okay? So just simply take that item, leave it on the place where he took it, and then take your child back to the place where you've been, okay? And then prompt your child to say the name of the item, say ball, or request, I want blah blah blah. And then when your child say the name ball or even approximations, remember, if your child doesn't speak straight, sometimes it's approximations, at least he emits the behavior, then give it, oh that's nice, requesting, and then just go to that item. Now, what if the function of that elopement or running away from you is attention? So what should we do? We need to really be careful. We need to be faster. If you're walking with your child like that, and then like in 5 seconds your child is running away from you because you didn't talk to your child, or you didn't give attention, or you needed to look on your right or on your left, then might as well, before the 5 seconds happen, talk to your child. Give attention to your child. So probably 2 seconds, hey, that's nice walking. Okay, so anything that you can talk with your child if the function of the behavior is attention. All right, so it's very important to be proactive than being reactive. The same question, Miss Jocelyn, what if the child has already gone, and then what should I do? You don't need to react. Obviously, you need to be fast on your action, but you don't need to shout. You don't need to even comment directly to the behavior like, don't run, like that. So just simply naturally or neutrally, just go to your child and then prompt your child again back to you. Do not comment directly to the behavior, because the function of that behavior is attention. The moment you comment anything, even if it's for you, it's like negative comment, it functions as reinforcer. So when you're back on track, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, give attention to your child. All right? So I hope you understand in the part of the function as attention. So I hope you understand, guys, that if the function of that elopement is attention, then do not comment directly on the behavior if it happens already, or be proactive of giving the attention before that happens, before the elopement happens. Now, if the function of that elopement or running away from you is escaping from work, okay? So, for example, you give some demand and then your child, boom, runs, and again you gave demand, then your child runs, okay, and then you let your child run at the beginning. So that's the function of escaping from work. Well, to be honest, do not let your child escape, okay? So neutrally, just let your child come back to the table, but you need to check the motivation. Again, we need to have the highly preferred items on the table or wherever you are, so that your child will stay with you, or your child will be motivated to do the things or the tasks that you're asking them to do. And sometimes your child doesn't know what to do with the task or how to do the task. Of course, you need to help your child to finish the task, and then just fade out your help, okay? Fade out the prompt that you're giving. Just make sure that you are delivering the reinforcer the moment your child finishes the task. Sometimes in the beginning prompted, and then later on you can just fade it out. Well, some children, the visual schedule is really effective for them. So you can also put it there. First, we will do this, and then have some reinforcer in between, and then we do that, and then so on and so forth. And so that your child will be focused on the schedule, and then the reinforcer is there. And then later on, you can just fade out one reinforcer at a time to make it more natural, okay? And then, of course, you are just praising your child. Good job finishing your task. And then that would be good for your child to stay with you instead of running away. Okay, for the sensory function, actually, we cannot really diminish it, okay? So it's just, you don't need to comment on that behavior. Just redirect your child and be proactive, all right? Because most of the time, those kids that has this sensory of running and going to and fro, mostly the reinforcer is really from them. Okay, it's producing from themselves. So you just need to be proactive, especially on the places that are very dangerous. Might as well be prepared with some things that your child can manipulate or your child can play with. At least your child will be busy with you, and of course you have to have the passive escort with your child so that it's easier for you to control your child. All right, so it's safer for your child as well. Now, when it comes to the training of walking with adults, it's easier to do that if you really know what is the highest, okay, or the highly preferred items or food of your child. And it's really intentional training. Again, this is a controlled training, okay? So you should have at least a controlled environment, maybe in ABA center, or probably at home, the closed doors, there's no cars coming, just inside the house, and then you practice walking with adults. Okay, so how do we do that? First of all, you need to prepare the food or the edibles, okay? Make it smaller pieces and make sure it's easier for you to deliver it, okay? Because we are pairing the food with our praise, like good walking with me or good walking with mom or dad, all right? So in the beginning, of course, you walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you give the instruction. For example, the name of the child is Alex. Alex, stop. And then you prompt your child, okay? If your child is really cannot stop with your instruction, this is how you transfer the control to your instructions. So the first level could be you are really prompting your child to stop. The moment you said, Alex, stop, and then stop him, and then deliver the reinforcer with your praise. That's nice, stopping. And then you practice again. Walk with mom or walk with dad, walking together. And then give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Then give the instructions. Alex, stop. Instructions should be given only one time, okay? Alex, stop. And then prompt the child to stop. And then deliver the reinforcement. Do not hurry in fading out the prompt, alright? Because sometimes you really need to stabilize first your instructional control of saying, Alex, stop, okay? Before you can fade it out. So probably few rounds of immediate stopping the child, and then later on maybe you can pause like 2 seconds before you prompt the child, but make sure your place is safe and make sure you can run or quickly prompt him 2 seconds and then prompt him to stop right after you give the instruction, until such time that you don't need to prompt your child to stop. The moment you say Alex, stop, he will stop. Okay, so don't forget, again, in this time, probably you are like 3 meters away from your child, then you can just deliver the reinforcer, okay? So be very careful with training this child because you need to have a safe environment, okay? Don't do this outside yet, all right? And then probably later on you can practice in the park, okay? Away from the cars, but it's a wide area for you to change the place so that you can have generalization of the skills. If your child already has practiced at home most of the time and he's stopping when you say Alex, stop, then you can change in the bigger, wider area, still away from the cars, okay? So please be careful with the environment. So that's it, guys. I hope you learned something about how to handle a child when he's running away from you or when he's eloping away from you, okay? So let's just check the function of the behavior and we can practice the walking with adult training. Thank you so much for staying with me. I hope you learned something about how to handle a child when he's running away or eloping away from you. Of course, it's about the function of the behavior, and of course, the walking with adult training could also be a help for this kind of situation. Please don't forget to leave a comment below so I will see what are the thoughts and the questions that you may have, and I will be very happy to entertain them. And of course, if you find this video very helpful for you, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button so that you can be notified in the future. Thank you, guys. God bless you all.